Today's the day that a lot of Drake fans have been dreading, including myself. We've literally been having nightmares, cold sweats. Today officially marks the end of the Drake era. It's over. The Drake as we know it is no more. A lot of you are super confused right now because you still believe that this is Drake. This is not Drake. This is Drake. Drake is a construct. Aubrey is the person. But the construct is created, published, and promoted by the machine. And this isn't some type of weird conspiracy theory. This is literally the premise of Drake's Crash Out. Universal Music Group created the machine we know to be Drake. They handpicked him. And because they handpicked him, they let Drake know, we made you a star, and we can make anybody a star. So don't get out of your bridges and start thinking that this is all you. And when Drake began to think he was bigger than the program and tried to extort the label for almost $1 billion, they showed him who was really boss. They showed him who was really daddy by making his adversary, the one man he hates the most on planet Earth, Kendrick Lamar. They taught Drake a lesson by making Kendrick Lamar a bigger star than Drake within a 6-month time frame. And when they did so, Drake was forced with a decision. He was forced with the blue pill and the red pill. With the blue pill, if you take that, you gotta get on bended knees, maybe gotta toot that ass up a little bit. You gotta go ahead and apologize to your daddy, Lucian Grange. Let him know you was tripping, what you was thinking. You ready to come home. And they will make you the biggest star on the planet again. And they will make sure that Not Like Us disappears within 30 days. And the effects of it will be no more. Or you can take the red pill, go against Lucian Grange, whistleblow all their unethical practices, sue them for defamation for promoting a song that was calling you a pedo, probably win a couple $100 million in a lawsuit, but you would never be a rap star again. You would never go back to the heights that you once known to be the norm. Obviously, by now, everybody and a mama know that Drake decided to take the red pill. He decided to sue UMG for defamation, among other things, for promoting the Not Like Us record. Now, depending on what you believe Drake's motives are, that would determine whether or not you believe that him taking a red pill is a mistake or not. In a leaked DM with a man named Christopher Griffith, Drake will say that he's suing UMG because he wants to make the building safer for other artists, and he wants to essentially make them pay for their sins. If you believe that this is Drake's motive, then you believe Drake didn't make a mistake because he's satisfied and okay with being a martyr, and a martyr he shall be. But if you have a brain, and if you're morally intact, or if you're just ethically honest, then you will tell yourself this isn't Drake's motive. You don't believe it. Because of course it's not. If this was Drake's motive, Drake would have spoke up way sooner before this beef. Drake would have been sued UMG. Drake would have been waged war against UMG. The truth is, nobody has benefited more from UMG's corruptness than Drake. Drake has been the biggest beneficiary of UMG being corrupt pieces of you know what. When Kanye West spoke out against UMG and begged Drake to join him in a fight, Drake told Kanye West, get the F out my face, bruh. You broke, we winning. I'm Jewish, they Jewish, we billionaires, and you broke. So now that you lost the battle, now that UMG has turned on you, now that UMG is being corrupt against you, now all of a sudden you're now the Moses of hip hop. You now want to take up the fight against UMG because you're sticking up for other artists. I don't believe it. And I'll be real. Drake will win over a lot more people if he just kept it honest. These people cost me $1 billion. I'm going to get mines. We will respect that. But playing in our faces, trying to act like Moses, trying to act like you are like the savior when, you are also complicit in the corruptness, to me is just absolutely crazy. And also too though, if you really look at this lawsuit that Drake just filed, it's pretty evident and it's pretty clear that Drake really cares about the public opinion, and he really cares about being seen as the guy. So this is not about saving artists. This is about Drake being foolish enough to think that he'll be able to sue UMG, he'll be able to win a lot of money, and then he'll be able to go back to UMG and be the number one guy again. All right? Because if you look at this lawsuit, even the language in this lawsuit tells you that Drake is really concerned about the public perception. Because in the lawsuit, you will see Drake reinforcing, emphasizing that he's not suing Kendrick Lamar, he's suing UMG. This is because Drake somewhat cares about the public thinking whether or not he's a snitch. Drake comes from a Jewish background, Drake's come from a white mama, Drake's come from the suburbs, but somehow Drake cares that the public thinks that he's snitching on Kendrick Lamar. That you would have to emphasize in a lawsuit because you know the public is reading. I'm not suing Kendrick Lamar, I'm not suing the artist, I'm suing UMG. Yeah, that language right there is for nobody other than the public. Because the courts, the jurors, the judge, anybody in that courtroom, anybody with a brain, any lawyers will be able to read that paperwork and automatically assume you're only suing UMG because UMG is the only defendant you listed. But for you to go out of your way to try to prove to people that you're not suing Kendrick Lamar is because you understand what you're doing is going to get a lot of public backlash and you care about how the public view you, right? You care about one day reigning again, about one day being the number one guy. The truth of the matter is Drake is too dumb or too arrogant to realize he's currently in checkmate. UMG wins regardless. This lawsuit is a win-win for UMG no matter how it plays out. In their response to Drake's lawsuit, UMG successfully painted Drake as this vulture, this dark cloud and black stain in the culture who's angry because he lost a rap battle and now he's trying to strip artists of their rights to freedom of expression. And they successfully painted themselves as the protector of freedom of expression. And they stated they will fight tooth and nails with Drake in court so other artists don't have to deal with frivolous litigation whenever they write a song another person don't like. So they've painted themselves as somebody who is going to fight for artists' right to express themselves. And they painted Drake as the monster and the villain who's trying to strip artists of their right to freedom of speech. So once UMG has put themselves in this position where hip hop fans are dumb enough to believe that the infrastructure, the corporation, is somehow in the corner of the people, because hip hop fans are dumb enough to believe that, UMG has now put themselves in a win-win situation. If they die at the stake and have to pay Drake a settlement or a judgment, well, people are just gonna think UMG sacrificed themselves and they were martyrs, right, by giving Drake a couple $100 million because they wanted to protect free speech for artists. But if by chance UMG wins this court case, it's over for Drake. It's already over, but it's super over for Drake. They're about to parade themselves as the crusaders for artist free speech. They're about to paint themselves as the label that stood up to the big bad fuck nigga in hip hop. Drake is gonna have an unceremonial exit from hip hop because they're essentially about to ostracize him and paint him as the one trying to take away rap battles from hip hop. So Drake better hopes he at least get a consolidation of like, a couple $100 million. He goes away and, he gets to enjoy his life away from rap. But if he loses and he gets nothing and he still gets an unceremonial exit, it's going to be really bad for him. In the UMG lawsuit, Drake would admit that UMG and Kendrick Lamar is currently in a short-term agreement because UMG is supposed to prove to Kendrick Lamar they can promote him more effectively than anybody else in this short-term agreement. So what's a better way to prove to Kendrick Lamar that you can promote him better than anybody else than to go to war with Drake and stick up for his right to his freedom of expression? This is a win-win. This right here would ultimately secure UMG, Kendrick Lamar long-term. Drake is still under contract, so he can still meet their obligation. And by the time that he leaves the record label, if they shelve him for a couple of years, by the time he leaves the record label, Drake is a non-factor. Drake can always go to another record label like Sony and maybe get promoted to the point where he's in the mix and he's in the fold. But Sony or any record label where Drake goes to, there's always going to be the extent to where they can promote Drake. You see, UMG was willing to pull all stops to make sure Drake is numero uno. But is Sony really going to engage in corrupt practices to benefit Drake when they know that Drake is a whistleblower? Absolutely not. In terms of UMG and Kendrick Lamar, once the rat is out the building, once Drake is out the building, they can now go super over the top. to make sure that Kendrick Lamar breaks all of Drake's record. Now they are incentivized to make sure that Drake's legacy is completely quashed by Kendrick Lamar. This is just an overall dumb move for Drake. See, here's the thing. Drake has a case. If you read this lawsuit, Drake has a pretty strong case against UMG. Now, the defamation is pretty strong. Drake will say, listen, Kendrick Lamar was allowed by UMG to make my house the cover art of a song where he's calling me a pedo while saying that I deserve to die. And then after he released that song that was published and distributed by UMG and reposted on their social media platforms, my house began to get evaded and shot at. Drake will list a lot of the things that we already know, like his bodyguard getting shot outside of his home, like a home intruder digging a hole under his gate and trying to break into his home, another person trying to break into his home, people driving by screaming F Drake. Drake will say, listen, I've been at this crib for a minute now, and none of this ever happened. But as soon as you use my home as the cover art, where you put sex offender tags on it, and then you say I should die, all of a sudden, people are now trying to kill me at my home. You gotta pay. In the court of law, that's a pretty good case, but if you're trying to win the battle of public perception, it's a pretty weak case to a lot of fans because you set the rules for this battle. You set the parameters. Kendrick Lamar dropped Euphoria and told you, hey bro, we can just have a friendly fade, a friendly battle. We don't gotta get too dark or too deep. We can just rap battle.
We ain't gotta get personal, this a friendly fade, you should keep it that way.
But you declined the friendly fade. You wanted to take it there. You wanted to take the gloves off. And you proceeded to say this man kidding his, he beat his wife. Which, by the way, those are things we still haven't confirmed yet. No receipts have been posted about either the two. So if we're talking about defamation here, and you're saying that he did something egregiously wrong, that you're now trying to sue the label for posting and publishing his music, it's like, bruh, this is so anti-hip-hop, and it's anti-hip-hop not for the reasons y'all think is anti-hip-hop. It's anti-hip-hop because Drake is suing UMG for publishing and posting Kendrick Lamar songs. Not just promoting it. Yo, if you read the language of this lawsuit, he's not just saying, yo, UMG overly promoted this song. He's saying he's suing UMG for simply posting, publishing, and allowing content creators to react to Kendrick Lamar's Not Like Us because it's defamation. But somehow UMG published and posted Family Matters where you are also saying that Kendrick Lamar, kid isn't his, and he beat his wife. And that's fine, that's cool. But they're not supposed to publish Not Like Us. It's just wrong, bro. It's wrong. But if your mission is you want to sue UMG, get a bag, and go away, this is the route to go. If you're still trying to be ingratiated into the culture, if you're still trying to be a part of this, bro, this is the worst path you could ever take. And what's really dumb, super dumb about this lawsuit is the fact that you then included the content creators within the lawsuit. Now, you didn't sue any content creators, but the optics of including screenshots of content creators reacting to a song in a federal lawsuit is crazy.
Dog, man, I ain't no well this video. There's no way, Drake. Drake, is no way I'm reading what I'm reading right now, dog. Oh, nah. Ain't no coming back from this. Man, hey, I bet I never see another Drake. Boy, hey, there's no way y'all can vouch for this here. Y'all, bro, just like what the title said, this is exactly what's happening. This nigga Drake them snitched on the reaction community. It's no way. It's no way you got us in this case, dog. Nigga, we chilling, having fun. And you got us listed in the case? Oh, this gotta be the softest nigga ever, dog. Man, hey, Drake, you ain't hip-hop, bro. It's no way.
These content creators don't just see this as Drake is just going through the motions trying to win this lawsuit. They see this as a personal attack on them because what they see is you in the court documents snitching on UMG for whitelisting the songs for them to react to. And whitelisted songs means they can fully monetize 100% and earn all the income from the songs, opposed to the songs being copyrighted and they making nothing. So when you're in a court document discouraging UMG from whitelisting songs in the future, that means that you are now putting yourself in a position where you are purposely or inadvertently pushing for these content creators not getting paid for their work. They are not going to take this lightly. And these are people with a lot of influence. These is not just content creators with 100,000 subscribers or 20,000 subscribers that you could push around. No, these are people with a lot of influence. This is No Life Shaq with millions of subscribers and views. This is Zeus and B. Lou with millions of subscribers and views. Cartier family, millions of subscribers and views. Kai Cenat, the GOAT. So you are now making yourself public enemy number one to these content creators with a lot of influence who essentially are tastemakers as well. So you're going against the label who essentially have a lot of influence on the people. You're going against content creators with a lot of influence on the people. And you're going against Kendrick Lamar with a lot of influence on the people. And somehow you think you are about to win this lawsuit, win back the fans, win back the content creators, and go back on top as the number one rapper. How do you plan on doing this? Or is this even a plan? Because it can't be about the money, bruh. It can't be about you getting a couple $1 billion, because you're not going to get a couple $1 billion, bruh. Right? It can't be about you getting a couple $100 million, because you already have a couple $100 million. You already have more money than you will ever be able to spend. So it's not about the money. It's about you getting back to that position. And this right here is the worst way to go about it. You're never going back to that position, going about things this way.
Between his beef with UMG, and one thing I will say though, bro, one thing I learned in my life is this, y'all. This is one thing I learned in my life, bro. The biggest L's come from not knowing how to take an L. That's how I honestly believe that shit. Like, some niggas just gotta take an L and move on. Everybody take L's. Everybody. Every single person on this earth takes L's. So we need to just learn how to take them. But I ain't gonna lie, us in the black community, me included, when you get an L, bro, it's just like, man, hell no. Everybody, like, you just get mad, like, fuck, no, hell no, I ain't lose. But, like, the further you go with not accepting an L, the more L's you will obtain. You're literally building the L's up, and you're making your first L even bigger. That's all I gotta say about that. Cause
that's a fact.
I've seen that my whole fucking life, nigga. I grew up with niggas.
No truer words have been spoken. Literally, I've never heard truer words spoken in regards to this situation. Drake, you need to learn how to take the L, bro. It's over. Move on. And as people like myself who still support you, who still like your music, I don't think it's completely over for you if you stop now. But if you believe you're about to go forward with this lawsuit and win back the public, win back the content creators. Oh, and by the way, not only are you going against UMG, all right, which is like the machine, you're also going against LeBron James and Nike. Bro, good luck, all right? Good luck. Let me know in the comment section, all right? What do you guys think about this, man? Do you guys think that Drake just needs to stop it right here? Cut his losses and move on? Or do y'all feel like Drake should keep pushing and move forward with his lawsuit? Let me know, all right? And if you're still watching, click on this video right here on my screen to find out why this content creator is very evil, all right? I'm going to see you guys in this video right here. I'm out of here, folks. Peace.